So this is lesson 8. We're going to talk about systems. The purpose of this lesson is to mostly just get these terms in our head, and we're going to be coming back to it throughout the year. So I want you to be able to have this in your notes so you can come back and use these terms more and more often. Now, systems, the first things you need to understand about systems are they have inputs, they have outputs, and there are these things called internal processes that go on as you have a system. So inputs to a system are going to be anything that goes into a system. So for example, gas into a car. You put gas into a car. If you think of the car as a system, that's an input. You have to input gas into that car. So the output of something is going to be anything that's going out of a system. And in our car example, it would be the exhaust going out the back of a car. So the car system is taking gas in as an input. It's outputting exhaust, carbon dioxide from the burned gasoline. And the internal process, which is anything that causes change within the system. In this example, the internal process is the burning of the gas. So a car being a system is a great example of it has inputs, it has outputs, and the internal processes of that car, including burning of the gas. Those are the three terms we need to have as we move into the systems. Now, there are three types of systems we're going to talk about. The first one is an open system. A system is going to allow matter, so it could be a gas, it could be a liquid, it could be solids, in and out of that system. Matter can go in, matter can go out as inputs or outputs. Energy can go into the system. And the examples list are, like a classroom or a car engine above. The example above, the car engine, that is a open system. Our classroom is an open system because we have air coming in, we have people coming in. Open systems are pretty straightforward. Now, here's an example of an antique rock crusher. Okay. Now, this is a system that is running, and the rocks are going to go in right here. They're about to zoom in and show you how this rock crusher is going to work. This plate is just bouncing back and forth, just a little tiny bit. And as you toss a rock in there, that rock is brittle and it's going to break apart if you crush it, if you cause that stress to go. So let's toss a rock in. This big rock is an input. The internal process is going to be the crusher making it smaller, and the output are these smaller pebbles. Input a large rock, crusher does its thing, internal process, output small rock. One more example. These are pretty big rocks. It's a heavy one. So that big rock is going in, it's getting crushed apart. And in the bottom you end up with a pile of small rock. So back to our notes. That was an open system. Closed systems, on the other hand, they allow energy in and out. So heat or light can go into a closed system, but no matter can go in and out. So my example is going to be this bag with vinegar and baking soda inside. If we were to take this bag and put it on a scale, let's say that it would weigh 100 grams right now. Okay, so right now the vinegar is seeping into the baking soda, and that's going to produce a gas, so there's going to be a chemical reaction happening. And I'm going to skip ahead. That bag is going to inflate. Now as that bag inflates, you might be thinking it's getting lighter because there's less liquid here, or there's less baking powder there. You might be thinking it's getting heavier because there's more gas here. But in reality, if we had this on a scale, it would still weigh exactly 100 grams because no atoms have gone in, no atoms have come out. There's exactly the same number of atoms inside of here, so this is still going to weigh 100 grams. This is an example of a closed system. Now, if you felt the outside of the bag, you would feel heat. You would feel energy coming out. However, no matter has gone in, no matter has gone out. If we skip ahead a little bit further, it inflates even more. Still a closed system. Now, if this bag were to pop, then all of a sudden you'd have an open system. But until that point, it is a closed system. Example, a sealed bag or the Earth's atmosphere in the notes. Now, a sealed bag we just saw, no matter can go in and out, no energy going in and out. The Earth's atmosphere is also a good example of a closed system. Energy can go in, energy can go out, but for the most part, except for little tiny specks like rockets or asteroids or something going in or out, nothing is leaving Earth's atmosphere. If we put 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the air, it's going to stay in the air. That is there, just like it's a closed system. So yes, you could argue it's an open system because of asteroids or rocket ships going out, but on the whole, the system itself is a closed system because there's nowhere else for it to go. Please notice over here in the notes that this arrow you can't get in, but energy can go in or out. So matter can't get in, energy can go in or out. Whereas up here, they both could go in and out. Now, like I was saying with that plastic bag, the mass is going to stay the same no matter what happens inside of a closed system. If there's no matter going in, if there's no matter going out, that mass has to stay the same. So that bag is going to weigh the same no matter what. That is the conservation of mass you need for your notes. I hope to get back to that several times throughout the year. Now, the last one, isolated systems. To look at the picture, there's nothing going in over here. There's nothing going in over here. This is isolated. So no energy in or out. No matter can go in or out. For an example in this, the inside of a thermos. Okay. Heat can't even get out. Light cannot get out from inside of a thermos. That thing is isolated from everything else. And the other example is kind of a fun one, I think. The entire universe is an isolated system. You can't take matter out of the universe. You can't put matter into the universe, and energy is stuck here as well. So I hope to get back to these 3 types of systems throughout the year several times as we go through all this earth science stuff. But for now, you just need to know the 3 types, maybe be able to identify them.